Hey guys, glad you're here. It's January 1st, which means I've completed my resolution of going one whole calendar year without making any new stupid videos. And what better way to kick off the new year than by doing the exact opposite of my last resolution and making a video on the first day of the new year. That being said, I need a game to play, and it can't just be anything. It has to be big. It has to be gimmicky. It needs to be fitness related so I can get my parents' money worth out of these wristbands. And most importantly, it needs to have at least a 72 on Metacritic. I got it! I've been saving this one for a special occasion. Ring Fit Adventure. Let's get physical. Ring Fit Adventure launched on October 18, 2019, and no doubt sat under many Christmas trees that year. It was another one of Nintendo's forays into physical activity games, following the revolutionary success of the Wii Fit title. Wii Fit was the second best-selling game on the Wii if you take out pack-ins. First if you take out Wii Play, which most people bought for the remote, and Wii Fit Plus was right behind it, meaning Wii Fit was essentially the first and second best-selling game on the Wii. Nintendo realized that parents were willing to pay a lot to get their kids active. And with Fitness Boxing not some of the numbers they needed, partially because they waited until after Christmas 2018 to release the title in North America, and partially because of the focus on boxing compared to Wii Fit, which had a plethora of other activities, they went back to the drawing board. Of course, Ring Fit Adventure was probably already in development before Fitness Boxing even had a chance to fail, but when it's revealed and released, it was another smash hit. By December 2019, it had shipped 2.73 million units worldwide, just 2 months after release. In comparison, Fitness Boxing took 21 months to sell 1 million copies worldwide. Something happened in 2020 that caused the game to sell so well that shortages were created. I guess people just really got into a fitness kick? As of June 2021, the game has sold 11.26 million copies. Plus one. I finally bit the bullet when it was on sale during Black Friday. I love RPGs, wanted to stay in shape, and I'll buy anything Nintendo puts out when my income is disposable. I'm a proud owner of a Wii U after all. Anyway, enough stalling. Let's get started. Ring Fit starts with a video showing you how to put on the leg strap, something I actually had trouble figuring out. It then has you select between the two territories of the world, Canada or outside Canada. I mean, you are one or the other. I myself am rude, dislike maple syrup, and never apologize, so I picked outside Canada. There's several modes that greet you here, but the main meat is Ring Fit Adventure mode, which is where I jumped in. And they start by introducing you to your trainer, or posture professional, Tip. How dare you try to stand where she stood? The worst trainer ever teaches you the controls because everything is done through exercise. Selecting something is squeezing the ring, canceling it is pulling it, then turn the ring whatever direction you want to go to while selecting. It's like driving, except I'm not racking up speeding tickets and only endangering myself. Then it starts asking for some personal information, but I'm not letting anyone sell my data. So I told it I'm 80 and weigh 300 pounds. Lastly, it asked me how intense I want the exercise. I chose moderate, but now I wish I'd chosen extreme because I can obviously handle it. Then, finally, it calibrates. And honestly, I am shocked with how well it read my movements. Unlike the Wii where I constantly overcompensated, this felt totally natural. Before you can actually get some good exercise in, you can customize your anime character and the voice of the ring. I went with the masculine voice because the feminine voice is, well...
Alright, let's go!
Not the greatest. I know that's ironic coming from me because my voice can be very irritating, but I'm also not applying for voice acting jobs from Nintendo. The last thing you need to do is watch a short cinematic video where you're thrust into this world with no explanation and the imprisoned big bad is right next to you. He tricks you into freeing him because you're a gullible idiot, then leaves. Ring, your soon-to-be trusted companion, calls out to him after he's gone, then turns to you. Why he didn't say anything as you were freeing him, warning you to stop, I don't know. The writing of this game is obviously the least of their priorities. Ring sees potential in you and the Switch surprises me again. The Joy-Cons can detect your pulse through your thumb with an infrared camera. Look, I don't know much about cameras and pulses, but I thought they were only in the neck, wrist, and chest. Pulses, not cameras. I had no idea you could detect them in the thumb with a Nintendo controller. 0. How am I alive right now? I even messed with it a bit by changing my breathing and it picked up on it. Anyway, by reading your heart rate, you connect with Ring and he guilt trips you into joining him. Like most games, level 1 is like a training level. You run by running in place, fire air blast by pushing in on the ring con, and backing by pulling on it. Not much to it. The obstacles aren't really a problem either, just minor roadblocks to give you a reason to push in. The stairs, however, suck. This is the only time I felt like I was overcompensating as I raised my knees to my chest to get up them fast. Speaking of fast, much like Sonic, the game wants you to go fast, but often punishes you for doing so. If you run past some coins and didn't vacuum them up in time, too bad, they're behind you now and therefore completely out of reach. Or if you take a path you didn't mean to in a branch, you're just locked in. It's not a big deal, but it's definitely annoying. My big complaint is the monster fights. You don't get to these until the second level, but there's no real strategy. Later on you gain the ability to do more damage by using the abilities that are the same color as the monster, but I don't think that strategy is so much as matching colors. You know, something toddlers do. I played through World 1 and 2 and didn't feel any RPG elements, but that changed in World 3. There was a shop where you could buy clothes and supplies and talk to townspeople. This is also where I fell off hard. I got through all the levels, gained the ability to make smoothies, and donned a fabulous new stat boosting outfit. But the difficulty ramped up considerably for no apparent reason. I finally faced my first loss on a regular level. It was the last fight of that level, so it sent me all the way back to the beginning, which is just cruel. I was already sweating after doing the level the first time. Now I have to pan through it a second time just to try the fight again and change one thing to win? Exercising is only rewarding to me if you feel like you're making progress, but this sent me back, the exact opposite of motivation. Then the boss. Drago, or Dragox, or Dragiox. Screw this guy. He's so bulky with no weaknesses, like the muscular Snorlax of the Ring Fit world if you forget fighting types exist. I was doing, well, not okay, I was a sweaty mess, but I was whittling him down. I was making progress. Then they changed the fight mechanics mid-fight. Every other time the defend bar has been cut in two, you release the defense, then do it again. So I stopped my defense, and he bought me with the 2 in the old 1-2. Since I wasn't defending, my avatar goes down like a stack of dumbbells. I was furious. Not because I lost, but because the path to get there was the worst. Treadmill's pushing me backward as far as the eye can see. So I quit. I wasted my one good smoothie there, and enough of my time. It's my fault, really. I wanted an RPG, but refused to do the one thing every RPG makes you do. Grind. There's a lot I could have tried. I could have tried just jumping back in. I could have tried making more smoothies. I could have even tried grinding more levels. But I also could have made my parents proud by becoming an accountant. The point is, the past is full of regrets, me quitting Ring Fit Adventure, and parents wishing I had been born with ambition. There are some other modes, so I didn't quit the whole game, just the biggest portion. The rest of the modes are all bite-sized bursts of exercise for if you're in a hurry and don't feel like running in place like an idiot. Instead, you can attempt to push your, pardon my pronunciation, pectorals major to the limit by seeing how many times you can push in on the ring con in 20 seconds. You'd think it's really easy. I know I did. But man, does it start burning quick. There's also custom where you can set a list of exercises. Didn't even bother with it beyond looking at it. I was a bit overwhelmed with options, and not knowing what I needed kind of scared me off. Following that is multitask, where you put the game to sleep but keep the ring con on, then do rep while you do whatever else you're doing. Kind of useless if you wanted to play other Switch games, otherwise just annoying to carry the ring con around. But if you do 500 reps, they'll reward you with in-game items. I did 11 before realizing it was a waste of time. The last form of exercise offered is the rhythm game, where you listen to music and exercise to it. It's mostly just pushing and pulling, and occasionally squatting and standing. Not much to it. I'm not a huge fan of just random music, so this really didn't strike a chord with me, except that they offered music from other Nintendo games. And I am beyond thrilled that Wii Fit's music got in here, continuing its legacy and keeping the Wii relevant. Didn't touch it though. Instead, I cranked on that Jump Up Superstar and absolutely nailed it on Novice. I do wish they had more lyrical music, but if they could only have one, this was a solid choice. Last thing is the tip index, which was completely empty at first. You have to unlock tips while playing the main game, and I get it. If you just had a long list of tips unlocked at the start, most people wouldn't bother to read them. Unlocking them means people will read them as they get them. However, a good portion of people with no lives would still read them at the start. People like me! Have the tips unlocked from the get-go so when I'm not playing Ring Fit, I can still try to live a healthy lifestyle, because these 4 generic tips you unlock at the beginning aren't going to cut it. And if you're worried about people who won't read them, then just shove them in the places where they would normally unlock them. But instead of an unlock, it's just a tip that they can go and reread whenever they want. That way, they're not bombarded with the information and still get it, and those of us who take our sweet time getting through the game can live healthy in the meantime. If you're going to lock away anything, it should be the exercises in custom. The whole point of the game is to teach you how to exercise, and that's what I was learning in the adventure mode. But then give me like 20 different options? I didn't know where to start, so I didn't start. I was psyched for this game when I bought it. I really thought I found something that would have me excited to exercise. But it's just a lackluster RPG with questionable design choices. I get that it's marketed and made towards kids who may be a bit too sedentary for their parents' liking. But I really hope there might be something for me here too. I really thought Ring Fit Adventure might be different, that it might be good. But at this point, I'm more tempted to go back to Wii Fit. At least there I like my teacher. Tip and Ring don't hold a candle to Balance Board and Wii Fit Trainer. I will give credit that the game does care about you. After you've exercised a bit, it always asks you if you would like to continue or cool down and be done. And it lets you set alarms for the week so you never forget to exercise. And I learned of another trick the Joy-Cons have. The home button can pulse. I was minding my own business playing Orcs Must Die 3 with my friend when I saw it light up out of the corner of my eye. I ignored the alarm but kept it in my mind and played later. It's amazing to me that I can do that, and I had no idea after owning a Switch for years. Apparently it was a feature it's had since launch, but just didn't have any use until recently. Can you imagine keeping a feature locked for years for no reason? Thank goodness Nintendo would never do that twice. All in all, I'm disappointed in Ring Fit Adventure. Boring repetitive exercises, arbitrary difficulty spikes, and poor writing. Again, I am beyond thankful this game exists. It's perfect for kids who need exercise, but as an adult, I was just hoping for more that I didn't get. There's 20 more worlds in the game, so maybe it gets better, but I don't have the patience to get through them when I have a Skyrim video to make, and the game is going to change the rules on me at a moment's notice. Man, after going one whole calendar year without making a video, it felt really good to get back into the swing of things. Well, so before I take down this calendar now. Wait. Well, failed that one after all. And if I failed that one, I might as well fail them all. Let's see what else I can still mess up while I have time. Easy enough to fail. Happy New Year's, guys, now if you'll excuse me. I've got a date with a full tub of water. That was just a joke. Never bring a hairdryer into a full tub of water. Or any tub of water.